came across the mountain, laid his gold across the land. 40 sheep were slowly waking, Jack was sleeping where they slept. Big white dog among the wool, you could hardly tell apart. He wasn't watching someone's flock, he was sleeping with his family. The shepherd scratched behind his ears, said, "Keep an eye on things today." Jack looked up like he'd been asked something he'd done every day. Yeah, like I had other plans. Then Daisy came through the flock, smallest lamb he'd ever seen. She pulled his fur, she bit his ear, and climbed on anything between. She had 4 working legs and plenty room to sleep. She chose Jack's front paw, Jack pretended not to notice. He was terrible at pretending. 2 young dogs were learning from Jack, or so they liked to believe. They barked at birds, they chased the wind, and slept when they should keep watch. Jack taught them when to make some noise and when to let things pass. Mostly, he taught them everything ain't an emergency. By noon the sun was getting high, Jack found a patch of shade. Daisy found him 30 seconds later. Of course she did. The young dogs came racing past, barking at something up a tree. No wolf, no fox, no danger, just a very frightened tree. Jack knew every sound up there, every shadow, every smell. He knew when something meant no harm, and when the mountain had something to tell. As evening settled on the hills, the shepherd headed home. "You boys all right alone?" Jack looked at the boys and back at him. Define all right. The last light slipped behind the ridge, Daisy curled beside Jack's paw. 40 sheep, 3 dogs, another ordinary night. I know where I stand when the daylight disappears, between the ones that trust in me and everything they fear. I don't need a reason, I don't need a helping hand. When the night comes down around us, I know where I stand. Daisy liked to wander much too far, Jack brought her back each time, like some old reluctant guard. When thunder rolled across the hills, she'd find that big white dog curl against his chest and sleep through every storm. Every night before she slept, she'd touch her nose to his Jack, pretended it meant nothing. Daisy knew it did. That night the moon came up and the mountain became still. The young dogs heard 1,000 things, Jack heard one. He raised his head into the wind. No barking, no alarm, he knew that scent. Wolf! Jack stood up slowly, looked across the sleeping flock. 40 sheep, 2 young dogs. He counted once, then stopped Daisy. Her place beside his paw was empty. He followed her scent beyond the flock, down toward the lower ground. There in the moonlight stood Daisy, too far from home, and on the ridge above her stood something lean and gray. Jack looked left, Jack looked right. No boys, he sighed, of course. Jack walked down toward Daisy. He didn't run, he didn't bark. He put his big white frame between her and the dark. A little nose touched his leg, the same goodnight as before. Only this time, she was shaking. The wolf came closer. Jack met his eyes. No monster, no devil, just another hungry animal trying to survive. Jack didn't hate him, He understood, but Daisy stood behind him. Understanding something doesn't mean you let it pass. Jack held the wolf's eyes beneath that mountain sky. I don't hate you, brother, but she's standing behind me. He planted all 4 feet, and I know where I stand. Then footsteps in the darkness. One young dog took the left, the other took the right. Jack never turned around. Took you long enough, a little late, a little scared, but they learned where to stand. And the wolf looked at the 3, and Daisy then the hill. He made the smarter choice, turned around and disappeared into the night. I know where I stand when the daylight disappears, between the ones who trust in me and everything they fear. When the night comes down around us, I know where I stand. Morning came across the mountain, laid its gold across the land. 40 sheep were slowly waking, everything was where it belonged. The young dog slept beside him, tired from the night. Jack looked at the boys, they done alright. Daisy came and found a place, curled against his chest. Jack laid his head beside her and pretended not to care, still terrible at pretending. The shepherd came up, coffee in hand, looked across the quiet flock and smiled at old Jack. Quiet night, Jack opened one eye, looked at the Daisy, looked at the boys, looked toward the ridge. Yeah, pretty quiet. Daisy lifted up her head and touched her nose to his Jack, closed his eyes. I know where I stand, I don't need the world to know. Some things need no telling, your actions let them show. You don't have to hate somebody just because you draw a line. Sometimes love is simply staying when it's easier to hide. I know where I stand. The mountain never called him brave, the sheep never called him a hero. Daisy just slept beside him, that was enough. Jack knew where he stood, and Daisy knew where she was safe.